So today saw Sheffield United play what was potentially their best game of the season. West Brom away. It's a stadium where we've had a bit of success lately in the past few seasons. I remember that Kieran Dowell goal from a couple of seasons ago, which made us win 1-0, and it made it like the promotion was really on the cards. And a 2-2 draw away at the Hawthorns with Harry Souttar out, Kiefer Moore out, Akman out, a couple of other players out, is a statement result for the division. Chris Wilder's come out and said it's our best performance of the season. Is part of that motivational? Definitely, because as far as performance goes, the first half an hour was dreadful, and when Hegum scored from that corner after 24 minutes, the Blades looked poor. It looked like West Brom were going to be the next team to score. It looked like this could have been potentially, a turning point in the season, because Sheffield United went away to Middlesbrough and away to Leeds and lost and didn't look very good earlier on in the season. Now, since then, it's been unbeaten. And as you know, they didn't lose against West Brom, a side who is definitely in the top six, best in the division, especially with Carlos Corberan at the helm. I don't think there's much stopping them from getting the top six this season. But a couple of goals in the 35th and 37th minute from Callum O'Hare, Tyrese Campbell completely changed the game, and it was unbelievable because it was such a poor performance. Then Chris Wilder said in his post-match interview that he made a couple of tweaks. The ones which I noticed most notably was getting Hamer into those pockets in the inside space, getting more space for Burrows. Hence the fact that both goals came from Burrows getting space down the left-hand side because O'Hare had dragged out Darnell Furlong, and then a ball into the box from that lethal left foot of Burrows. Can I just point out, how was he in League One last season? Because he's a left back who's first and foremost amazing at defending, and then going forward, he's scored a goal or two for us this season. He's got a couple of assists, can take set pieces. Like, he's an all-round player, and the fact that he was in League One last season astounds me. But he created both of the goals, or he was definitely the key decision maker in those. Campbell scored, O'Hare scored. O'Hare's goal was an interesting one. Their keeper really should have claimed the ball, but O'Hare was agile, he was nippy, got to the ball, and the momentum for Tyrese Campbell's poacher finish was good. Tyrese Campbell did come off injured, but Chris Wilder said in his post-match interview that it is a low back issue. It looks like he had a bit of a hamstring problem. He was limping off. The physios were very clearly saying, let's get him off the pitch. We don't want to keep him on. We don't want to risk the injury. Came off, but Chris Wilder said he'll be back in action at Millwall away on Wednesday. But the point in this video is Sheffield United going to go up? Because in this game, half an hour, they were very, very poor. As we all know, the squad depth isn't great. Players like Tom Davies coming back from injury, but the starting 11 doesn't really have much backup to it. Hence the fact that a game like Millwall away on Wednesday, you might see a couple of players come in and out, and the team might potentially look stronger, and it'll play in a different way, and the passing patterns might be slightly different. But 39 points from 19 games as it stands. Leeds United are behind on 38 points, Burnley are behind on 37 points, and then Sunderland on 36 points. There's very much a top four. And then below that, you've got Middlesbrough, Blackburn, Watford, West Brom, Sheffield Wednesday, all on significantly less points. You're talking 31, 30, and 29 points. So it's definitely a top four, just like last season. Leeds are in it. Last season, obviously, it was Leicester, Southampton, and Ipswich. This season, Leeds with Sheffield United, Burnley, and Sunderland. It's very different because it was very much a top four last season, whereas this season I feel like Sunderland could drop off a bit. If Burnley's, amazing defensive numbers match the reality of their XG, they might drop off a bit. Sheffield United, if the pre-season expectations come to fruition, they'll drop off a bit. Leeds United are the only ones there just who I think are sheer quality and will get promoted. The fact is that they're in the top two and they keep dropping results. Daniel Farke knows exactly what he's doing with Leeds, and the fact is they're not dropping. They're not going anywhere. They might get third because they are territorial. They are, well-known bottle jobs, but I think they're going up. So Sheffield United currently sitting in first, and I'm getting a nosebleed just thinking about it because we're nearly halfway through the season now. What are we, 4 games off halfway through the season? It's pretty wicked because I made a video at the start of the season. I think it was my pre-season prediction. I predicted Sheffield United to be like playoff pushers. I think I said like 9th. I don't even want to think about what I actually said because Chris Wilder's come back to the club. It was his 1-year anniversary of being back at the club this week. what a job he's done. I don't know. I don't care who you support, whether you're across from the pond, whether you support a club down south. I don't care who it is. You've got to appreciate Chris Wilder. And I watch, Talk Norwich City, for example. They do a podcast, and every time Chris Wilder's name gets sprung up, Chris Reeve likes to mention about how much he dislikes him, about how much of a, shithouse he is, whatever you want to say. But ultimately, just like Talk Norwich City or any football fan channel or any football fan, they say you'd love to have him as a manager, wouldn't you? Because you would. He brings passion to the club. He gets the players wanting to play for that badge on the shirt, and that's exactly what he's done with Sheffield United. Last season, a dog poor squad in the Premier League, and he couldn't get them playing. And I don't think any manager in world football could have done. Get Carlo Ancelotti or Pep Guardiola to that Sheffield United squad in December last year. They're not keeping it up because the quality was too poor. Hence the fact that so many players have come in and so many players left from that squad. I think about 15 players left, about 10 players have come in. You look at the starting lineup from today, none of the players bar Gustavo Hamer and Vinny Souza, off the top of my head, were playing last season. Michael Cooper in net, coming from Plymouth for 2 million, unbelievable. Sariki at right back, didn't even get game time at Rotherham last season on loan, and he's come in and he's looking pretty decent in the side top of the Championship. Alfie Gilchrist on loan from Chelsea has been right back this season, deputising at centre back. Jack Robinson, a player I missed out just then, transformed. Left back, Harrison Burrows. I said enough about him earlier. Vinny Souza at CDM. What even... I can't even explain how bad he was last season. For those of you who don't know, he was a scapegoat in a lot of Sheffield United's matches. And that wasn't by, default. That was with good reason, because he was awful. He was really, really poor. He lost the ball often. He didn't win it back often. Often didn't even know where... Yeah, he didn't look like he knew where he should be positioned. And he's unbelievable. And then next to City Peck. City Peck came from the Arsenal Academy a year or two ago. Didn't play at all last season in the Premier League. Maybe a couple of bench appearances. And this season, he's looking unbelievable. He plays good intricate passes. He breaks up play well. He likes to get into the half spaces and interchange play. Game on game, he's getting better, and I'm really enjoying seeing it. And I was really worried that when Ollie Alblaster got injured, that Peck wouldn't, rise to the standards game in, game out, but he has. Right wing, Rex Saki on loan for Crystal Palace. Really, really good. Tricky winger. Starting to get an end product now. Came off today because he didn't, against, what's the called, West Brom, but he is a good player. For the most part, he's getting results. Left wing, Gus Armour, very good player, best player, I'd say. Sometimes he can seem a bit greedy. Sometimes he goes, sometimes you thinking, just play that one more pass. Callum O'Hare will play it out to him on the left. Burrows is overlapping him on left back, and instead of just playing the pass, he'll try and cut inside and work a different angle, and it doesn't always work because it's either players aren't on his wavelength or he's just not on the other player's wavelength. But for the most part, he's very good. And Tyrese Campbell up front, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. He had an ACL injury. His father died last year. Stoke fans were saying that he's not Championship quality. And what's he got, 7 or 8 goals now in about 14 games? Very, very good striker. And Callum O'Hare, I missed him out, but he started every game this season. He goes unnoticed quite often. He's often just drifting. He'll be drifting in between the half spaces, between midfield and defence of the opposition, picking up pockets of space to receive the ball. He'll drop back sometimes. Often, he's normally just looking to get close to teammates, play triangles. And if you just watch Callum O'Hare for 2 minutes when we're in possession, you'll see what I mean. The amount of energy which he expends just trying to get into the right position, it's unbelievable. And I feel like people are really starting to appreciate that now. At the start, I thought Callum O'Hare was a bit of a passenger, but the more that you watch him, the more that you realise the clever intricacies to his game and how he's picking up the right spaces to let other players like Gus Harmer, like Harrison Burrows, like Rex Saki flourish. So I think Sheffield United are going to carry on the run. The new owners have come in as well, and apparently they're ready to get a couple more players in the January transfer window. Now, it'd be dangerous for us to get like 3, 4, 5 players in, but just 1 or 2 just to tide the squad over. Replace Ollie Arblaster who got the injury, maybe get a bit more cover at centre back, because as we've seen, if Sutar and Ahmed Hodzic are out, the defence does look weaker. So please do let me know in the comments, will Sheffield United keep up their bid for automatic promotion? Will they drop to the playoffs, or are they going to just fold away completely? Chris Ward's doing an unbelievable job. I'm really enjoying seeing it. Long may it last. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.